Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and hello and welcome to this special edition. There were a number of presidential activities which took place today, from phone talks to meetings. And President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met on Saturday with Robert Ogola, the chairperson of A.P. Moller Maersk in Cairo, to discuss the company's ongoing projects in Egypt's future cooperation with the Suez Canal Authority. And during the meeting, both sides reviewed Egypt's role as a regional base or a regional hub for Maersk operations in container trade and clean energy. The meeting was attended by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Suez Canal Authority Chairperson Vice Admiral Oussama Rabia, as well as Maersk's regional representative Hani Nadi. The President, of course, welcomed Maersk's green fuel initiatives, expansion at East Port Said, describing them as part of Egypt's broader strategy to become a hub for energy and maritime services. And to shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Professor Ali Islam, former chairperson of Egypt Atomic Energy Agency. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how do you see efforts exerted by the state to turn Egypt or to transform Egypt into a regional hub for green energy?
Actually, Egypt is very interested in this subject because it is the future of energy, is that we transfer to clean energy. This is our strategy to diversify the energy sources and get benefit from our excellent location in the Middle East and connecting the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, and so we are interested to be the hub of operations, especially because when you produce clean energy like clean hydrogen and clean ammonia as fertilizer, you need to be as transport location for distributing these products in for Europe and other countries, and Egypt is considered to be a hub for this, and especially with the Suez Canal in the east, Port Said, there is a chance to get benefit from the experience of Egypt in this subject, and to export, to get use of experience of Maersk as a reputable company for container operations, and this will benefit both, and especially in these new conditions that Port Said will gain its share of ships, which was reduced in the last few years, and because of the war in the region. So it is the new situation will allow Suez Canal to regain its role for transport and to get benefit from this location. And this green energy is important actually for all the regions, and this will get more contribution from different energy sources.
Sir, one of the first priorities of the state is to include the private sector to have the lion's share in investing in this field, clean and renewable energy. How do you see the incentives introduced or presented by the state to the private sector in this domain?
Yes, that's true. Egypt is very much interested in the contribution of private sector through tax privileging and due to have cooperation with the private sector, with the Suez Canal Authority, and all the time Egypt is relying on the private sector in many new projects, and especially with deals with monetary fund negotiations, and to get new assistance from international institutions. They would like to see that Egypt is giving much effort to use the capabilities of the private sector in Egypt, which they are experienced in this subject through projects of solar energy and wind energy, so they can the efforts from the government to rely on private sector in this subject.
This was my coming question regarding the diversity of sources. The state is very much keen to diversify the renewable energy sources, not to depend on only one like solar energy, for example, but solar energy, wind energy, green hydrogen, you name it. How do you see this point, sir, as one of the priorities? Hello?
Yes. Egypt's sources are diversifying. Actually, we have wind energy, solar energy, and green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is the future, but also the water resources through Aswan High Dam. So these projects are together will diversify the energy sources, and especially that we have now new steps in nuclear energy sources. So with that, in the last weeks, there has been efforts to send the bark which is needed for the new reactor, for the core of the reactor to be transported actually from St. Petersburg in Russia to Egypt. This is a very sensitive project, that very heavy equipment to be transported to El Daba site. And so Egypt is intensifying every effort to diversify the energy sector and not to rely on these
on one source.
On one source.
Yeah.
And also the new discoveries in Western Desert and in the underwater. So it is Egypt looking for the future, that renewables will be maybe 40% in the very near future, will cover 40% of the energy sources in.
Yes. Well, sir, in the past couple of days, Foreign Minister Badr Abdel-Ati was in India, where he met in New Delhi with a number of businessmen, and he invited them to have their own industrial zone in the new Suez Canal. In the Suez Canal economic zone, like the Chinese and the Russian one. And of course, we all know about the nuclear experience of India. How do you see the fruitful cooperation between Egypt and its allies, and to have strategic partnerships with states like India only, for example, and to invite or urge them or pave the way for them to have their industrial zones here in Egypt, and to invest in this field, renewable energy or nuclear energy?
That is true. Actually, India has a very long experience in nuclear energy sector, but also in renewables. So the cooperation with Egypt with India is a very old story. We began together in the early 50s, even in the nuclear field, and they have much experience in this, and so it is looking forward for new technologies and new methods, especially that they have nuclear power plants from several sources. They have nuclear power plants from Canada, they have nuclear power plants from Russia. So to be exposed to other experience, especially in safety sector, that safety exchanging experience between countries in the safety and security of nuclear power plants is very important. And of course, the success story of Egypt with Russian experience in Sabah, which will hopefully be in the very near future operating the first unit of nuclear power plant of the 4,800 megawatt project.
And how do you see the impact of this on our industrial sector in general, sir? Because Egypt is going with very tangible, positive steps to the full implementation of our sustainable development goals to reach the new Republic Egypt 2030.
That is a very important aspect, actually, because Egypt's strategy is not only to be a site for building projects, but also to gain experience and to get knowledge and to involve our sectors, to involve our research institutes, to involve our industry to build and some components of the reactor. Of course, the first reactor is the first experience with this, and for the second reactor and the other reactors, the contribution of the Egyptian industry to produce components of very high quality, because the quality of the components for nuclear industry is a very special one, which needs high quality of the produced products, and also even in the operation of the nuclear power plant, a very sensitive issue, which will actually drive all the sustainable development in Egypt, and Egyptians will do it because they have the experience on that, and it will be very beneficial.
One final question, Professor Islam, regarding our infrastructure and regarding building or establishing new urban communities, new cities, all depending on renewable energy, smart cities, and taking into consideration that this is the future and our coming generation should benefit from what we had achieved before. How do you see the new cities, sir, depending on renewable energy?
I can see in the future that the renewable energy will be the main source of getting energy, especially that we are also very much interested in the smart city and to use the energy at times which will be much more economic, and to get the best of the contribution of some sort of energy, because as you know, renewable energy needs some technologies for also storing through batteries of this energy, and this needs some management using artificial intelligence to use renewable energy source in the most efficient way And so this will help in the economic and sustainable development in the new cities, and of course the new delta will benefit from these, and the projects for desalination of water through renewable energy. This is the future of the energy sector, because fossil energy sources will vanish eventually after some years.
Yeah. Professor Ali Islam, former chairperson of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Agency, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good afternoon. By this, we come to the end of this special coverage regarding this important meeting by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the CEO of one of the high-profile companies working in the field of renewable energy. The meeting took place here today with the attendance of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Vice Admiral Osama Rabia, the chairperson of the Suez Canal Economic Zone, and the representative of this company here in Egypt. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman.